Hello everyone. In coming lectures, we will talk about modeling of system and various aspects of modeling. Okay, so what are the things we need to be careful of while modeling a system? First, what is model? By definition, we could say that it is an elemental or even mathematical representation of system, and this model which we derive will help us in analyzing the system, or more in control terms, it would help us analyze the input output behavior of system. So this model should be such that it capture the dynamics of the system. So what are these dynamics? This refers to evaluation of system variables. Okay, so for example, how the temperature behaves, or how fast or how slow it goes to desired temperature as soon as AC is switched on. Then how the speed of my car changes before it reaches the desired speed. Similarly, if I look at an electrical circuit, how a current or a voltage evolve. So if I look at a model in terms of very basic, why do I need a model of a system? And modeling is something that we do in our everyday life. For example, if I go to an interview and I am being interviewed for the post of control engineer, how would I judge if that person is fit enough for my job or not? I would essentially ask him a set of questions. First, I would look at his background, his education qualification, and experience in some sense, and then I would question him with some of the basics of control possibly. And then over there, it doesn't make sense for me to ask who is your favorite footballer player, or which IPL team do you support, because that answer would not help me judge if he is a good control engineer or not. And the model essentially is, I will ask him a set of questions, and based on his response, I should be able to judge if he fits enough for my job or not. So that is an essential part of modeling. Okay, so basically in modeling, what we are doing, we are representing our system or plant with equivalent mathematical model. Okay, so in our course, what we will look at is a couple of type of mathematical models. A basic model would be differential equation model. This is where dynamics would be represented by in terms of first order, second order, or higher order ordinary differential equation. So ODEs are used for representation purpose, and these are essentially or usually also called as time domain representation of system. So basically we work with time domain in this model. Okay, we also know that we could transform these differential equation by Laplace transform into linear equation. Okay, and we can derive also Laplace transfer function model by using that, and this is also help us, this Laplace transform response models also help us analyze the frequency domain representation of system, or to find frequency response of system. Okay, so basically over here, dynamic is represented by linear equations and we work in S domain. Okay, lastly, which we would like to investigate, or something which help us understand the system behavior better, is the in control point of view, our state space model. Okay, what is state? State is a set of variables that describe how a particular quantity in system varies, and these dynamics are represented as some set of finite set of linear differential equations. Okay, so all the linears will be first order over here. Okay, so how does this look like? Suppose let us take a model or take an example of very simple linear RLC circuit. If I just ask you to write down KVL for this loop, what you will do, you will write Vt equals dV by dt is equals to R di by dt plus L d square I by dt square plus I by C. Okay, so I could do the Laplace transform of this, and I can write an input output representation. Transfer function model is nothing else, input output representation. As I begin with taking voltage as my input, and which is giving me certain current output, okay, and which is given as the ratio of output to the input is given by something called as transfer function. Okay, this is just writing my previous equation. The other thing I could also do is to write down, so that this second order differential equation, I could write it as set of two first order differential equation, which look like this, as a bit of matrix structure, and this is what we call as state space representation. And we will eventually learn each of these in detail and see which model is fit for what, so which model give us what kind of information and so on. Okay, the measure of modeling could be classified as either analytical modeling or experimental modeling. Okay, in analytical modeling, we look at system as an application of some kind of basic laws to the system, or basic physical laws that are used to model the system and their interconnection, and then we combine all these physical system to evolve at some, or to get some mathematical model of system. Okay, and experimental modeling could be the selection of mathematical relation which best describe the observed input output data of system, and this also called modeling by synthesis. Okay, this is something which we would have done already in one of our electrical engineering lab. So let us say I have resistor, okay, and I am given a variable voltage source from 0 to 100 volts, and I would ask you a question, can you drive a model for this, of this? Okay, so what I do, I would connect this, okay, I would put an ammeter, okay, so I know what is the input voltage, so I start from saying apply 1 voltage, I analyze the behavior, voltage versus current, I will apply 1 volts, okay, and I analyze the behavior here, it give me a point over here. I do the repeat experiment for 2 volts, okay, and it would give me point here. I will repeat for 3 volts, it will give me point here for 4 volts, and so on. Okay, so I just see that this is linear resistor, that is R, which defines the relationship between V and I. Based on this model or this experiment, I could conclude that V is equals to I R, and that's what this graph tell me. And this is something which we derived in our basic electrical experiment. To when you observe the behavior of how the current change through a resistor and when we apply a certain voltage. So this is also one way of in which we could model a resistor. Analytical model. What could be the steps? So first is I should define for myself what is the purpose of the model. Like as I said about the example, when I am interviewing a candidate, then I should define what are the boundaries. Okay, if I am interviewing him for control engineer post, I should not go beyond what is job specification. Then I postulate a structure. The structure is what we will talk about shortly. Then select the variable of interest, look at the mathematical description of each of those elements, applied relevant physical laws if any. Okay, then get the final form of mathematical model, then analyze and validate model. Why did that? To see if the behavior is correct or not, and then finally modify the model if necessary. So let us go through these steps one by one. Purpose of model. Okay, it should be first based on intended objectives. Okay, for example, if I were to study the model of transformer for its loss and efficiency, I would use an equivalent circuit of transformer. Whereas if I were to study some kind of other property of transformers or system, like the magnetic behavior, I would look at something else, that the core behavior and the core saturation. Okay, next is to define the boundaries of system. The system of interest is separated from the rest of world. For example, if I am looking at say improve my cricket team, I just set my boundaries, I set the players that I have. I do not really bother what is happening with the other teams. In some sense I could not, but mostly not. Okay, so this boundary could either be real or imaginary, and this boundary says defined again with some purpose of on hand. Okay, so then the third step is to postulate a certain structure. So most physical system, if you look at what we learn in circuit, what we learn in some applied mechanics or any other courses in is system, what they do, the system component either store energy, dissipate energy or transform energy from one form to another form. For example, storing element could be inductor, a mass element that store kinetic energy. Dissipate elements are obviously resistor, and elements which transform energy from one form to another would be either generator or motor, and so on. And for all these things we identify simple element that characterize these operations of energy, and these basic element would have some put which we could connect these system to the outside world, and the overall system is now captured as an interconnections of all these small subsystems, and this is referred visually to a physical modeling. Okay, now next would be select a variable of interest. For example, how could my current build up through the inductor, and we assign variable to all these things which are of interest. For example, the current, the voltage, and a certain velocity profile, and so on. Now each of these elements would come with mathematical representation. Could either be linear relationship, a static relation, or a dynamic relation. Okay, once I model all these individual elements, I interconnect them and apply relevant physical laws. Okay, for example, Newton law or even the Kirchhoff voltage law. current law, conservation of energy law, and anything coming from thermodynamics and so on. Okay, and once I do all these things, I just get my final mathematical model. If there are some constraint that I could eliminate and simply the model as much as possible. I analyze and validate the model, and if there are some inaccuracy in behavior, then I repeat certain steps that could be necessary. Okay, now we will see about experimental modeling. In most of experimental modeling scenario, the model form is available based on law of physics or based on reasonable assumptions. Okay, and it is the parameter or coefficients of variable that are either known partially or unknown. Partially known here implies that either the bonds or probability distribution of parameters are known, and parameters are determined through data fitting using recursion or time series analysis. Okay, so basically in this course we will concentrate on analytical modeling. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you.